Today's episode is going to be all about I can't even say the word, balance, as well as wellness, and how to do all the things in a day with time blocking, and how I try to create a balance between my life as well as work and all the things in between. So let's dive into this episode. I'm so excited to record this because I feel like it's also a healthy reminder for myself about the things we should be doing and how we should be doing them and when we should be doing them. I don't know about you, but I feel like I legit have no hobbies. And then sometimes I have to sit with that and be like, wait, I do have hobbies. What are the things I enjoy doing outside of work? And also things that I actually get fulfillment from, the things that just light me up that aren't related to work. If you don't know me or don't follow my personal page, you know that golf is definitely now a huge part of my life. I have now taken up horseback riding again since 2020. I did that a lot as a kid. I rode for 7 years, not competitively or anything, just like basically just as a hobby. And it's just something I absolutely love is animals. And it just gives me that sense of being outside with both golf and horseback riding. I love to go out for my daily hikes. Living up in Muskoka, it's definitely something that we are so fortunate. I have a golf course in my backyard that I'm able to walk in the winter and I'm able to golf it in the summer. So great opportunity there. And how to create the actual balance between work as well as life. I don't know about you, but I always feel guilty about carving out time during that work day to go do a round of golf or even go to the barn for the afternoon, or just just not feeling guilty about it. And I still, to this day, still struggle with that. So I want you to know that you're not alone, especially in this beauty entrepreneurial world of no one works really a 9 to 5 in the beauty industry. I feel like it's around the clock and it's all the time. We're always working more when people aren't working because of appointments and scheduling. So with that being said, some of the things I love doing also now that I'm not in the treatment room, and even when I was still in the treatment room, the things I was doing was my schedule. As beauty entrepreneurs, we are always looking at our schedule, whether you are in the treatment room still. I just feel like we are very structured that way. I feel like I got so much accomplished when I was in the treatment room still, and even outside of work. I was playing baseball twice a week. I was still doing a lot of social outings, networking events. I was dating my now fiance. We were doing long distance, driving to Toronto back and forth. So I look at my day-to-day before and how much I got done. Working from home now, I feel like I still get a lot done. It's just like a different type of work. And sometimes I have to honor that and look at my checklist of the things I'm accomplishing. But time blocking, I don't think people realize how much time blocking can help you. I did a podcast episode about this last season and so many people resonated with it. It is something that I can't say enough about. And also planning your schedule ahead of time. On a podcast I was on just a few months ago, we were talking about how to plan ahead in your work schedule, whether that's 3 months, 2 months, a month. But if you're looking at doing any events, social things, vacation, launching a product line, launching a new service, all the things that should be happening at least 3 months in advance. I notice within our business, that's something, even onboarding someone, we're looking at 3 months in advance to do that hire and be able to properly have them onboarded. And 3 months is not a lot of time when you think about it. It's usually roughly like that 90 days, and even like a probation period is that 90 days. So really giving yourself grace when trying to brainstorm with your team, trying to get ideas out there, make sure everyone's on board, even in your personal life. If you're looking to take vacation, if you're going to go on like an event or host an event or go to a seminar, all the things, like how to properly prepare for something like that. Another thing is even the day before. So when I look at, before I go to bed, I feel like I'm not a huge journaler. I feel like my journal is my podcast, especially for the solo episodes where I can like verbally talk out loud and brainstorm. And with our planning, I feel like I'm always planning my day ahead. So before I go to bed at night, or even the day of, if I'm stepping back from the computer a little bit earlier that day, or I have something to go to, I usually try to sit with my notepad, my paper and pen, even my Google Calendar, whatever it is, and actually do a step-by-step of what my day is going to be like. Okay, I'm going to wake up in the morning and go to yoga. Have I booked that morning yoga class? Yes, I have. So now I actually have to get out of bed and actually go to that class because I've already booked it and paid for it. So it's like that extra step. I've laid out my yoga clothes, so I know that's going to happen. Making sure, even if after yoga I have errands to do, make sure I have that change of clothes afterwards. Or I've got some makeup or bronzer or mascara or whatever with me to be able to throw that on afterwards, and making that list of things. And the days that I'm able to actively cross those things off my list are the days I feel like I am like Wonder Woman. Are you looking to fuel your body with the best nutrition? Look no further than Good Protein. Whether you're a fitness enthusiast, a busy professional, or just someone who values their health, Good Protein has your back. Good Protein offers a wide range of high-quality protein products that taste amazing and make you feel even better. But there's an exciting part. When you shop Good Protein, you're not just getting high-quality protein, you're getting it at a price that you won't break the bank. Use promo code Behind the Brand at checkout and you'll get exclusive 20% off your order. That's right, 20% off. Browse our fantastic selection and make sure to enter Behind the Brand to unlock an extreme discount. So why settle for less when you can get the best? Give your body the nutrition it deserves with Good Protein. Head over to the website goodprotein.ca and remember to enter that promo code of Behind the Brand for 20% off your next order. I feel like I just have accomplished all the things. I love Mondays. I don't know if you love Mondays, but I love Mondays because the world is like back alive. Everyone's motivated. It's a fresh new week. It's just so exciting and it just gets me going every week to just get things done. I am not that good at relaxing on weekends. I'll tell you that now. I definitely do work on weekends, but I'm trying to step away. I'm trying to do things for myself on weekends, but sometimes I just feel like the flow of the week, it just gets to the best of me and I feel like I can't focus that well on weekends. And weekends are sometimes where the world is quiet, so I can actually do some deep dive into admin or some marketing ideas, or sometimes even feel more creative on weekends to do some of that marketing, whether that's like on Canva, doing some different templates, working on our monthly specials, even just brainstorming for some of our podcasts. And that is sometimes the best work that I do is on weekends because, like I said, the world is just quiet and I don't have any other distractions. I do have to have my phone on me quite often, like throughout the day. I try not to leave it anywhere and on silent because if the girls do need me at the spa or there's like a problem or something, I am available. We are super fortunate with our spa. We do have 2 spa managers that are great, but that is still something that I want them to know that they have my support, or if they're unsure of something, they can definitely reach out. But with that being said, it's also really hard for me to step back and completely give the reins to people. This year is a lot to do with clarity as my word of the year, but I also feel like I'm trying to outsource a lot of things. We're onboarding a new marketing person, which is like, it's so hard for me to let go. I don't know about you, but I love social media. I love the creative side of the business, but I just feel like it's consuming so much of my life and it is not what I'm made for. I didn't go to school for marketing. I didn't go to school for social media. I did not go to school for any of this. And I just feel like she's going to do such a great job. She's going to be actually looking at the analytics, seeing what's working, helping us with outreach, even for the podcast, and really getting to the point where now we're able to hire the people who are good at their job. As entrepreneurs, that's something like outsourcing and actually being able to give the reins to somebody is probably the best gift you can give yourself. I have done that in so many different ways in so many different parts of both of our businesses and even the podcast now. And it just gives you that more creative outlet to actually create better things for your business. It's like manifesting your future, if that makes sense. So all the things that I think about that I love to do on a day-to-day basis, that's the things I'm going to want to do. Even with our team, even with the spa, even with Muskoka Beauty, and now with the podcast, I talk to our team and I'm like, what is your ideal day? Like, what are the things that you enjoy the most? Or what services do you enjoy the most? What part of our product line do you love the most? Do you like talking about the products? Do you like talking about the outreach and how to get wholesalers and distributors, the actual education segment of it, or packing orders? Just so many things that I think as a leader, an entrepreneur, a boss, a beauty entrepreneur even, is like talking to your team and figuring out what they like to do the most. If you were working a job as well, would you want to do all the services you hate all day long, all day, every day? Nope. I know I wouldn't. And I've definitely been at that point in our business before where nobody wanted to do those services, but we were still offering them. So I had to do them. And it does daunt you all day because you're looking at your schedule and you're like, oh, I have this person in and I have this appointment, and it just kind of gives you that yucky feeling. And I don't want anyone to feel like that within our businesses. But as the entrepreneur and the leader of the business, I noticed I was putting a lot of those things on my shoulders. Even cleaning the spa, for example, I was going in almost every Sunday, giving the spa a deep clean. And I'm like, this is ruining our weekend. Like, as soon as we get back from a relaxing weekend at the cottage, or we're on vacation or visiting friends or something, I got to go to the spa and do all the things. And it's like, why? I can outsource this. We are now at the point where it's okay to reach out to people and ask them, are you available to do this? Yeah, it is. It's also a business expense. Yeah, I know you can't write off the whole thing, but it's also giving you that work-life balance that you deserve. So with all of this being said, I think as business owners, we look at our day-to-day schedules, and I also try to get a lot of the admin things that I don't enjoy doing at the beginning of the day. Get that done, get that over with. Sometimes I even try to do it before I go to my morning workout. I'll wake up early enough, help with Millie, get her fed. That's our little mini doodle. Get her outside, go for a walk, do the things I need to do. If I need to do some phone calls, or if I need to do some emails or texts, whatever, I try to do all of that admin usually before I head off to my workout class, or if I do have to go into the spa in the morning. Everyone has the same amount of hours in a day. And that's something that I think we all need to realize, that is, even Beyonce's got the same amount of hours. I know there's a quote about that. And it's really important to think about that. You've got your high performers, or people you may be listening to or you follow on Instagram, and it's like, how do they do it all? They're not doing it all. They have people helping them. And that's where I want you to be open to that idea. That's why I'm being so transparent with what we do with our businesses, because people might look from the outside, especially here being in a small town. I feel like a lot of people think that it's me that's doing a lot of the things. And it's like, even the podcast, I've got the easiest part. I just have to sit here and talk and interview guests, and we have a team behind us that are doing all the editing, who are doing the marketing, who are doing the outreach, because I've set it up that way. I enjoy talking, gift to gab, and interviewing our guests and creating those authentic relationships. And yes, I still have to do research about our guests and even our solos, trying to figure out topics and how we're supposed to like lay out the actual conversation. But to me, that is so fun. I enjoy it so much. And even when we're between seasons in the podcast, sometimes I'm like, oh, I miss the podcast, and I start pre-recording things because I get so excited to get back on here. But that fills my cup. If I was doing all the editing, all of the marketing, all the things, I would not be able to do the one thing that I believe I'm actually really good at properly, which is talking. So on your day-to-day schedule, let's go back to if you were a spa or a salon owner and how you look at your day-to-day schedule. I had a great conversation with one of our team members who is really struggling with some mental health, as well as just like kind of getting her life figured out. I know I'm still in my 20s. I got one more year left, but I feel like in your early 20s, I try to be like a mentor for a lot of our girls as well. Just someone that they feel like they can come and talk to, and kind of like that big sister. I don't like to wear like the boss pants too much, but you know, we all have to every once in a while. But I was talking to her about this. I said, you've got how many hours in a day? I said, so if you don't have to come into work until 10:30, what are you doing in the morning? Well, I'm sleeping in, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm like, okay, well, why don't you go to a yoga class? All the yoga classes I know are happening early enough that you can go do that yoga class and then come into work in the morning. Or why don't you go for a walk outside with your dog? Or, you know, like trying to set yourself up for success for that day. Also, taking the time to make a proper lunch when you come into work, or having time to make a really nutritional breakfast in the morning. So I feel like with social media and scrolling and all the things, I actually put a timer on my phone and on my apps, as well as a timer on my phone. So, and sleeping without my phone beside my bed, which has been massive. I'm actually also going to order an alarm clock. A lot of people have been talking about the Hatch, I think it is. You can just get it on Amazon, but it like naturally wakes you up. It's got like the kind of like a sun. It like mimics the sun in the morning. It starts playing music. You can also do like nighttime meditations or morning meditations. But anyways, I just went on a tangent. But that is something I've been looking at, is some type of an alarm clock instead of my waking up to my phone, because yes, the phone alarm goes on and then I look at my notifications or see what's going on. So that is something else, is right from when you wake up in the morning, what are the things that you have on your schedule? Sometimes you need a little pick-me-up midday, and I'm not talking about another coffee. I'm talking about my Saje Peppermint Roller. I can't live without this thing. It's literally sitting on my desk right here. Whether I'm jumping into a podcast or I need to focus on doing some admin, I just do a little roll on my temples, sometimes even take a deep breath, and I just feel like I'm ready to do anything. Not to mention, we also use Saje products at our spa location. We love the liquid sunshine as our aromatherapy when coming into the spa. We love using any eucalyptus within our towel caddies, and even just in treatment to be able to really bring in and hone in that whole experience when being at the spa. So if you're interested in trying Saje or you're just wanting a discount, make sure you click the link below because you definitely want to get in on this exclusive discount that we offer on this podcast of Beauty Behind the Brand. And thank you so much for listening. And I'm going to share some key takeaways on some more episodes of why I love Saje and how we also use it in our day-to-day. What are the healthy habits you should be having? On my time blocking, I literally have drink lemon water because I know I'll go right to my coffee, or at night even remember to take my vitamins, little things that are going to be a game changer, that are going to actually elevate you to that next level. Building habits does take time. I know we have to do things we don't want to do or enjoy doing. I don't enjoy waking up to go to yoga every morning, but now I don't even think about it. I just do it. And I think also listening to our body. Sometimes there is times where I just don't feel up to doing things. I'll still go, but I just won't do it as an extreme as I usually do, which is really hard for me because I'm a very competitive person, but I just have to be channeled into my own energy. I also think too, the time of the year, looking at summertime, I'm okay, that is we wait all year long, especially here in Canada and Ontario. We're Northern Ontario. We wait all year for summer. What are the things that I can do and accomplish in the winter months? Oh my gosh, admin. I don't want to be doing all the things, outsourcing, hiring, all the things. And I want to be doing this in the winter. I don't want to be doing this in the summer. Also, summer is our busiest time here in Muskoka when have all of our cottagers, we have our snowbirds coming from Florida, and it's just a very busy time. So I want to make sure everything is good to go. Also, with my word of the year being clarity, we have redone all of our handbooks. That was another episode we had, all of our policies and procedures, and really making sure that's clear to our staff. So I don't feel like I have to be on all the time, or they can refer back to that. I was saying we should call it the Spa Bible because that thing is massive, but we have to have it because if not, someone off the street, if we were to hire them, they wouldn't know the first thing about our business if we were to hire them, what our expectations are, our values, our missions, how to greet a client, the Muskoka aesthetics way of doing things, even down to our actual services as well. How are you actually performing these services and how the treatment room works, your expectations of cleaning and sterilization and the health unit and WMIS and all the things. So it's really important to set yourself up for success in order to do that. It's just like putting your yoga clothes out in the morning, just remembering that your staff also need those things. Even pre-planning if those specials or events are happening, really make sure that you've got that scheduled in ahead of time. Even our brand shoots, that's something we love doing, especially in the beginning of the year, is getting all of our brand shoots scheduled, get all the models organized, making sure we've got the services, the products, everything ready to go for the launches that are happening. Same with PR packages. We were just doing all of that with our new launches. It's the exciting part. That's the part I love about entrepreneurship, is the creative outlet part. And then it's the big party or the grand finale of it happening. And then you just get to sit with it and just enjoy the reward. So when you're thinking about the seasons that you're in right now, whenever you're listening to this, I feel like you really need to think about the things that you want to accomplish in your personal life as well as in business, but really prioritize that time that you have. So even for us as well, we're getting married in May. We're going to want to go for a honeymoon. We want to be able to actually enjoy being a newlywed couple without having to deal with work literally the next day after getting married. And it's putting those things in place. And yes, it's going to cost you money. It's going to cost you time, but to be honest, your sanity is worth more than all of that. And don't feel guilty about outsourcing. I feel like outsourcing will also pay off in the long run as long as you have a great team and the right team working with you. And just think about the things that you want to do. And that's something I really realized as an entrepreneur and as like I've been an entrepreneur, I don't even know, 10 plus years now at this point. And sometimes I have to remind myself of who I am or what are the things I would like to do on the weekend. And it's actually kind of sad sometimes thinking about that, or even friendships. I feel like sometimes I'm like, when was the last time I hung out with a friend, or when was the last time I called a friend? And I think you need to surround yourself with people that understand that and the people that don't make you feel guilty about it. I've definitely gone through friendships, relationships, work relationships, all the things, because sometimes I put work first because I find that that's the time that I'm in control. It's the time that I also feel like time goes by really fast and I don't have to sit there with my thoughts, as sad as that is. But in the real world, if social media wasn't a thing, if posting wasn't a thing, if no one had an input or actually like a comment to say to you, what would you be doing? What are the things that you would be doing on a day-to-day basis? Even if money wasn't a thing, what are your passions and what are your dreams and how could you get there? And even when it comes to goal setting, I'm not a massive goal setting person. Like I said, I usually use a word of the year and how we can actually use that to move forward. But there was a few things that happened in 2023 and we had to move fast. We had to get back on the market. We had to pivot. We had to hire new staff very quickly. All of it was a lot of a learning experience, as well as even booking and software and POS systems, all the things. But we survived. Oh my gosh, last year I thought was like the year that I was going to give up. I thought it was the year that I was just going to sell everything and wash my hands of it. But we made it. We made it through. And I feel like we're stronger than ever in both businesses. And now even the podcast, we have people wanting to get on our podcast, which I'm so excited for you to have some of those guests on here and actually listen and get their takeaways as well on entrepreneurship. But it's really sitting with the way you want your life to look, and anything's possible. Like, I'm a small town girl. I literally live in the town I grew up in, and the things that we're accomplishing and doing is insane. And even going in to talk to the high school students, I've talked about that on past episodes as well, is really reach out to your youth. They want answers. They want to be able to talk to somebody who's relatable and that they can understand how they got there. And kind of think of what you as a youth or as like a young person would want for yourself. Think of when you were in public school or high school and you're like, oh, when I'm in my 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever age you're in, are you living to that full potential? I know it's really important to think about that, and also making yourself proud. If you have kids, the same thing. You want to make them proud and be such a great role model for them. And how are you going to do that? How are you going to put yourself first to be able to do those things? You have to fill your cup up before filling someone else's cup up. And that is all for today's episode. I hope you got a little piece of a takeaway from this. And if you did, share it with another beauty entrepreneur friend. Share it on your Instagram. Tag us. We just love to hear from all of you. And thank you so much for listening to Beauty Behind the Brand. And just remember, be your best self.